Peace and guidance, attendees of School of Insight. Today's topic is the truth about gender and sex. Now, a week ago, I went on a rant on Twitter about pretty much how the Baphomet, the symbolism within the Baphomet's design and delineation is pretty much the science behind what we see occurring in society today. So first we can break down, we can pretty much break it down layer by layer. So let's look at it like this. The Baphomet, the go-head that's upon the body, the androgynous body, is basically a symbolical representation of man's consciousness at its lowest degree, which is animalistic, gross in nature, you see. And mind you, when I say gross and animalistic, I'm not, that in itself is not negative, you know what I'm saying? Like this symbology of the pentagram being inverted, flipped upside down, usually the pentagram with the star in the circle, like the star is pointing upward to symbolize spirit. So when you invert it, you bury spirit underneath the material, corporeal elements, So that is, that image, that pentagram, that inverted pentagram is reversed on its head, is on its head in reverse, you see, on the goat head, to symbolize man's consciousness being disconnected from spirit, you see. That's when I say gross and animalistic, like it's totally disconnected from the divine. It's one thing to be in tune with the divine and in nature and animalistic in a way where that's your natural biological organic functioning, you see. That's inescapable, you know what I mean? That's the original design in general of the divine, you know what I'm saying? But the work of these dark Satan, the dark Satanists, the dark eugenicists, the you know what I'm saying, the satanic eugenicists that, pretty much control the human consciousness on this planet, you know what I mean, this is what they do, you know what I'm saying? Like they invert and perverse everything that's natural and orderly in nature, in creation. So that pretty much explains, I mean, it's much more depth to that in itself, but we don't have time to really go into the whole entire totality, of the meaning and the infinite. Well, I wouldn't say infinite, but the endless layers of it, So that pretty much, with that, you understand what the go head on the Baphomet symbolizes and represents. Is basically man's consciousness disconnected from spirit at its lowest point. That's what that is. Now moving onward to the symbology of the body, the androgynous body. Now again, we know that spirit is, it doesn't have a sex per se. Spirit itself, the Most High, God, Source, the Creator, that which is the most, like whatever you want to refer to, this infinite, endless, beginningless energy that spawn and sustains everything, you know what I'm saying? Like that in itself, you know what I'm saying, is true oneness. It's true emptiness, because true oneness is empty, you know what I mean? Because it is of everything. What is truly empty is full of everything. Understand that. See, this is where these so-called new age spiritualists get it twisted. They're seeing oneness as in everything is connected, we're all the same, this, that, and the third. Yes, things are connected in a degree, but at the end of the day, when you truly understand the illusion of separation, because the illusion of separation is basically the dream state of the creator. See, now that's a whole nother topic in itself that I do not have time to even get into. If you want to understand that, just go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, purchase my book, Insight. I have a myriad of gems in that book that explain very thoroughly the very nature of existence and the quote unquote the paradox of existence itself, or God, the creator, the most high, whatever you wish to call, you know, that which spawned or created everything. You see what I'm saying? So go ahead and buy that book if you want to really understand, you know, what I was about to segue into. So I'm not even going to get into that because that's going to turn into a whole nother video. But anyway, the androgynous body of the Baphomet is basically a perverted version of oneness, a perverted and distorted version of, you know, what the sexes truly are, because gender is a physical, like gender is it's not just, it doesn't just materialize or manifest in the physical plane of existence. Gender is a universal principle that manifests on all in every plane or dimension of existence. So that must be understood. So if you understand or have learned about the 7 hermetic principles, again, that's another topic that I can't get into. So if you're not familiar with that, study up. You got fucking Google, right? Just Google that shit. You can Google it. But the good source to get any knowledge about that from is the book The Kabbalion by the 3 Hermetics. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? Like, if you want to understand those 7 hermetic principles, which is very essential to any, you know, understanding any spiritual system, period, because that teaches you the very universal truth that, you know, everything has you know what I'm saying, there's universal law basically. And there are 7 principles within that law that, you know what I'm saying, all of us are never above. But anyway, the androgynous body of the Baphomet is a distorted, perverse, wicked, you know what I'm saying, manifestation or symbolical representation of, you know, gender. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why where we're at today, because they're distorting the gender line. They're blurring that shit. You know what I mean? Yes, certain people have been born, you know, with born as a hermaphrodite. That's different. But when you introduce concepts like transgenderism, now that's some new shit that's just completely unnecessary in and of itself. Because when you have transgenderism, comes a myriad of other people who wish to have certain quote unquote rights via the pedophiles and the rapists and all these other people that, you know what I'm saying, that do exist amongst us that we don't know, you know what I'm saying, who do what they do behind closed doors and when others aren't looking. You see what I'm saying? And eventually that's their ultimate goal, because the people, well, I'm not even gonna say people, the psychopaths that run this world, you know what I'm saying, they are pedophilic. You know what I'm saying? They fucking indulge in such very, you know what I'm saying, wicked and abhorrent activities. You see what I'm saying? And they have their own, you know what I'm saying, purposes for doing so. It's not just because, you know what I'm saying, they get off on it. It's because of, again, that's another topic in itself. You know, I keep segueing. I could go on for days with this, but, you know, I'm trying to break down just the shit in the most simplistic way, so, you know, one who is curious about this bullshit can really see what the hell it actually is. So don't fall for these motherfuckers that's online talking about, oh, the Baphomet is a good symbol. That's a symbol of truth. That's a symbol of Luciferian order. And like, nah, that's some really wicked shit. And when you're looking at that image, you're looking at it on a 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional sense. But what the fuck does that shit look like on a 4th-dimensional, 5th-dimensional sense? You see what I'm saying? Like when you draw that shit out, or you wearing that shit on a shirt, you see what I'm saying? You don't know what the fuck sort of energies you're invoking when you fucking tamper with, and you know what I'm saying, such fucking, you know what I'm saying, energy, you know what I'm saying, symbolism. Cause, you know what I mean? Because everything manifests in different planes and different dimensions simultaneously. Everything is multidimensional, not just human beings. Everything is multidimensional. So keep that in mind. Now we can get into the other, you know, aspects of the Baphomet, which is it having, you know, its right hand up with the 2 fingers held together while the left hand is pointing downward, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's another symbol of duality, and, you know, as above, so below. That's pretty much what that means. And again, they're putting little seeds of the truth within this distorted version of what they're projecting as the truth. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is how these Satanists do, you know what I'm saying, to get you into whatever system or ideology they want you to follow. They're put a little seed of truth in there and wrap it in lies, just for you to digest the shit. You see what I'm saying? Just for you to accept the shit, just for the person that is not trained in spiritual perception and understanding, you will fall prey to such, you know, enticing ideas that are completely foreign to you. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are sexually perverse. Like, fuck the Baphomet for now on. Like, let me get into the whole sex thing, because, like a lot of us have been and are becoming sexually perverse. Now, you may be asking, how the fuck am I sexually perverse? You're sexually perverse. This is the first step to knowing that you're sexually perverse. When you're constantly always thinking about sex, like every day you're thinking about, like, you might not have access to it, but it's on your mind. You want it. You like, every time you see somebody of the opposite sex or even the same sex, whatever, like you start imagining or fantasizing or having, or after you see them, you go home and late at night you touching yourself, thinking about, like, that in itself is a form of sexual perversion, but it's not extreme. Everything is by degree, mind you. Everything is by degree. So when I say sexual perversion, what degree? Are you a fucking pedophile, or are you somebody that like to grope women, or are you somebody that just, like to watch porn? Now, let's get on to this topic right here. When it comes to porn, porn is very detrimental to both sexes of the human species, period. Because what porn does to the male is it pretty much weakens him, because now you're subconsciously and inadvertently training yourself to pretty much attenuate or lessen your masculine energy, because you're just getting used to watching other men have sex with women that you're not having sex with. That's one aspect of it. You're watching other men have sex with women that you're not having sex with, and you're jacking off to it, watching it, getting off on it. So then when you do this over time, it kind of conditions, not kind of, it does condition you to, like, whenever you see a woman that you're actually attracted to, you don't take action. When you have attraction, you should take action. You know what I'm saying? This goes for both sexes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I know we don't expect women to start, catcalling and hollering at men and shit like they do. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that, you know what I mean? Like, but do what you naturally do when you like a guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get into his space, you try to make yourself available to him, like you try to get his attention, or you try to spark up a conversation, or you do something to let this motherfucker know that you like him, you know what I'm saying? And for the fellas, like, when you see a woman, you just step up to her and ask her, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Just have a conversation. Fucking start by saying hello and ask her, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you, like, if you out and about, like, ask her, like, what brings you out tonight, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you just fucking conversate. And that's another thing too, like our social skills are being deteriorated with the whole social media age. But again, that's a whole nother topic in itself. So, but back on the porn shit, like, porn, like, that shit, it weakens us males, because it pretty much ruins our ability to approach women the way we supposed to approach women. Because think about it like this: a male lion in the wild does not have any anxiety or fear of approaching or pursuing a feline. You know what I'm saying? A female lion. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have a problem with that. It will immediately, as soon as it has the perception of a female lion in its vicinity, it's going after it. If, you know what I'm saying? If it's trying to procreate itself. You see, that's nature. That's how we are supposed to be at nature. When you're a dude, you're not supposed to see a woman and fucking your knees start shaking and knocking together and shit, and your teeth start chattering, you bite your nails, or you fucking thinking of what to say to her and all this shit. Like, you already fucking, you know what I'm saying, fucked up if you at that stage, you know what I mean? So you got a long way to go. You got to work on yourself, buddy. You got to work on yourself. But as for the woman, when it comes to porn, now this is what it does for y'all ladies. When you're watching porn, and especially if you're using some sort of fucking tool like a dildo or some shit, if you're fucking like masturbating, you know what I'm saying? Well, you think like we all think it's innocent, you know what I'm saying? But this is how they get you through your innocence. But anyway, you masturbating with a little dildo or a little toy, whatever it is, and you watching whatever the fuck it is you watching, that ruins your ability to connect with the man that you're supposed to be laying with in physical human coition or sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really does. You know what I'm saying? Because you become numb to it. Just keep in mind that every time you watch a porn video, there's a dopamine release. So with this dopamine release, the next time, you know what I'm saying, you need a stronger hit. And each time, like the stronger it becomes each time that you have a stronger hit. So it's a never ending fucking tread of just having to have some sort of stimulus that's strong enough to get you off. So like originally, if you're a guy, you start off with just regular heterosexual porn where you just watching, big booty women bouncing on some guy's cock, right? You know what I mean? That's innocent in itself, right? You know what I'm saying? You just watching that shit, doing your thing, you know what I'm saying? Whacking your thing, whatever it is. And then eventually you start browsing for more videos. Oh, I want to see another fine chick hopping on some dick. You know what I mean? And then you start perusing the motherfucking goddamn Pornhub and all these other fucking websites and shit. And then you come upon some wild shit like, oh, stepmom and stepson. It's like, oh, okay. And now they don't got so bad. They don't got so fucking bold at the point now that they just pretty much have the shit straight up like mom fuck son type shit on the motherfucking websites. That's why it's like it's not even good to fucking watch that shit. And it's like, man, I don't start with that shit, yo. Like once you see the truth of that shit, you just can't continue it. Like there's no desire there. Like it's done. Like that shit is dead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I quit porn and shit before for long periods of time, but eventually like went back to it just out of either like, just you know what I'm saying, just either the past habit. I wouldn't say habit. I never really had a habit with it. It was always just a choice. I can't understand like people that's chronically masturbating and shit. Like how to, you know what I'm saying, chronically just having to need to watch porn all the time or every day and shit. Like that just don't make sense, But anyway, like that shit right there, like porn is sexually perverting us, you know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of us, we don't even know it. Start off as something innocent, just like the whole eating ass shit. Like, what the fuck? Like now, like first it was niggas talking about eating ass and shit. Now it's to the point where it's women talking about eating niggas' asses and shit. And it's like, that's some motherfucking nasty, unnecessary. Like, not only is it nasty, but it's unnecessary. So it's like, yeah, you may get off on that, but what you gotta think to yourself, what made you attracted to that? Like you want fucking born wanting to eat somebody's ass, lick somebody's asshole, let somebody fart in your face and all this weird ass, crazy, unnecessary bullshit. Somewhere along the line, some motherfucker or some experience or some sort of thing you were exposed to consciously, perceptually led you on to thinking that you're attracted to that shit. Nah, that's a condition. Everything in the mind is a learned habit anyway. Again, that's another topic in itself. But as we continue with this topic of fucking porn perverting the fuck out of us and making us numb to the natural sex, which is, you know what I'm saying, one of the most blissful experiences two humans can share together. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you become numb to that shit, now what the fuck do you need for you to be pleasant? You know what I'm saying? To be satisfied. Like you gotta think about that shit. Like this is why the transhumanism and shit that's coming along with the whole advent of social media making people more antisocial than ever, and in conjunction with this whole porn shit, incels, and like, you know what I mean? Like niggas just whacking the porn, not even trying to pursue women because they become so weak of a man that they can't even muster up the strength or balls to fucking go or talk to a lady, like talk to a woman they have interest in. Like that shit is wild. And this is where we're at. I mean, of course it ain't everybody, you know what I'm saying? But just think about all the small things that add up over time. You know what I mean? Like you plant an apple seed today, and 8-10 years later it grows into a full-blown tree full of fucking apples. So it's the same thing with the small little fucking things that we do, like the small tiny things add up over time. You may be looking at the shit now, like, it may be thinking, not, you know what I'm saying, nodding your head or whatever the fuck you may be doing, shaking your head or whatever, talking about, oh man, this nigga tripping. This motherfucker just overreacting to this. Like, nah, you gotta really observe shit. Next time you go on a porn site, just, you don't even have to browse it. Like, the first landing page, like, what are the titles saying? You know what I'm saying? Look at the titles. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it some ancestral shit? Is it some fucking, like, weird ass, you know what I'm saying, perverted shit, like an older man? I'm talking about like old ass man, like granddad age, with a 18-year-old, 17-year-old borderline girl. Like this is the type of shit you gotta watch out for, because this is how they get you. Like, you know what I mean? You start off watching heterosexual porn and shit, and then you get into, you know what I'm saying, some abusive porn shit, then you get into some fucking borderline child porn shit, then you get into some fucking bestiality shit. The next thing you know, you watch a she-male shit, all sorts of shit, and that's the shit that, you know what I'm saying, that's the road you're going down. You're going down a dark ass rabbit hole that you can't return from, because now once you're there, it ruins your natural biological ability to fucking, you know what I'm saying, engage with human beings properly the way you're supposed to do. Because now you walk around with an idea of what the fuck it is you expect of a person. Now you walk around with the idea of the, you know what I'm saying, of the opposite sex. You think it's that way. And a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us dudes out here, man, like, we honestly are just using women as hands. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're literally using women's bodies as masturbation. Again, that's another bad product of the porn. And it's, you know what I'm saying, wretched rap music that's promoting the shit. You know what I'm saying? All this, oh, I beat the pussy up shit. Oh, I fuck a hoe and all this shit. Like, you ain't connecting with the woman. You know what I'm saying? You like, we've been so fucking, like, effeminized and weakened by porn and various other fucking biochemical, spiritual, psychological fucking goddamn means, to where we enter a woman and a lot of us can't even last more than a minute, or we stroking it, we you know what I'm saying, we might do it for 30 minutes, an hour, cock out. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, you ain't supposed to be cocking out. Like, the woman's supposed to be cocking out. She's the one in submission. You are penetrating her, you know what I mean? Like, she's being penetrated. She is the one that is, you know what I'm saying, supposed to be submitting to you. This is why we're at where we're at today, where, you know, most women in relationships are running the fucking relationship. Like, I mean, yeah, I mentioned on Twitter, like, women have the power in the relationship, but men have the love. Because without power, there's no action. I mean, without love, there's no action. You know what I'm saying? You have power all day, but you need love to fuel that power. You know what I'm saying? So this is the exchange. Woman has to exchange their power for love, and us men have to exchange our love for power in the relationships that we have with one another. You see what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. So we can't be caught up with this whole men against women shit. And again, that's all this feminism, MGTOW shit. Like, it's just so much fucking shit we're being hit with simultaneously. Like, it's fucking ridiculous, and people are constantly distracted, so they can't even possibly have time to process a lot of the shit that I'm saying, let alone investigate for themselves. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of them are caught up in it. So when a nigga like me get up on this YouTube shit and start telling it like it is, just like I tell it like it is on Twitter and shit, and whatever other fucking, you know what I'm saying, social media bullshit I be using, it's like, they not trying to hear it because they feel guilty. But it's like, I'm not talking about you, motherfucker. I'm talking about a behavior. I'm talking about ideological belief that you have downloaded that is enabling you to behave in this way or that way. Not you, you know what I'm saying? It's never nothing personal. Like, you know what I mean? Like we, you know what I'm saying? That's how we operate. We operate impersonally. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing is personal. You know what I'm saying? So keep in mind, like, that Baphomet shit, stay the fuck away from all that satanic ass shit, because that shit is our downfall as a fucking species. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is truly our fucking downfall, yo. That shit is nothing good coming from that shit, yo. They want you know what I'm saying? They want total absolute power, totalitarian government. You know what I mean? One world government. You know what I'm saying? This is why their dream is to fucking, well, I mean, their goal that they are making happen, like, but they slowly are surely doing it though, very subtly. But I mean, it's blatant to those of us who can see though. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, they're curtailing or reducing the population. You know what I'm saying? And when they're making men weaker and weaker and women stronger and stronger, you know what I'm saying, naturally that repels one another. So the men aren't able to, you know what I'm saying, produce strong offspring because they're weak. And women are biologically programmed to sleep with the strongest male. Hence why this is why women are monogamous in nature. Because, you know what I'm saying, they look for the highest value male. They date up. Women date up. They don't, you know what I'm saying? When women date down, they fucking are settling. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. And as men, we quote unquote date down. You know what I'm saying? In a sense where it's like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we're supposed to have, you know what I'm saying, someone of the opposite sex that reflects us. They have to be our reflection. You know what I'm saying? They have to be, you know what I'm saying, on the same standards and accords and principles as us. That's how the relationship can function. That's how you can, you know what I'm saying, start a family and have a moral code and compass to live by. And this is another reason why the Satanism shit is so strong too. And they're trying to get rid of everything that's spiritual or religious, is because they don't want people to have a discipline. It's all do as thou wilt. Do it, do what you want. It's a free world, free thinking, free progressiveness. It's like, nah, it ain't not progressive about this shit. This shit is motherfucking getting haywire. It's already, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is Sodom and Gomorrah all over. This is Babylon, truly. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and it's all this bullshit that's stemming from the West, which is Babylon. It's trying to seep into all the other parts of the world. And we can't let that shit happen. We got to reprogram our men and women, especially our young men and women. You know what I'm saying? Because damn near everybody's misguided. You know what I'm saying? Every fucking body is damn near misguided. So it's like, shit is really out of hand, but at the same time, we ain't no pessimists out here. You know what I'm saying? We know that anything is possible, and you know what I'm saying, we truly know that. You know what I'm saying? We truly know that, you know what I'm saying, like, we are the Most High manifested in physical form. We are the creator of that which is the universe, whatever you want to call it, manifesting itself through us, as us. You know what I'm saying? So that's infinite holy power. And when I say holy, I mean complete power. You know what I'm saying? So with that understanding in itself, you know what I'm saying, that can enable us to mobilize in a way where we can really disseminate the proper right information and knowledge, you know, the information and knowledge that will help rectify or correct everything that has been wrong and flipped in reverse. You know what I'm saying? Because this is like, we're like the symbology of the Baphomet. That, just look at that shit and see, and then look at society and people's, you know what I'm saying, programming, their consciousness, their beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are believing things that they don't even understand, really. They're repeating things that they don't really understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is crazy. But, you know, that's it for now. You know what I'm saying? I could get, you know what I'm saying, I might make a part 2 to this because it's just so much, you know what I'm saying, to really get into when it comes to the Baphomet alone, let alone like the topic of like just gender and sex. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make a part 2 to this because I have to really explain the principle of gender. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to understand it. This is why they want everybody to just accept this transgender bullshit. Like, yeah, I mean, homosexuality is one thing. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's somebody's preference, man. That's somebody's fucking experience dictating their preference. You see what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of women, I mean, I have relatives, like a lot of women that have decided to become lesbians or be lesbians. You know what I'm saying? It was due to them being hurt by some dude or a series of dudes that led them to just saying, hey, let me just date women now. You see? Like, I mean, but I ain't trying to have y'all come at me. I mean, hey, if you believe you were born like that, hey, you were born like that. Hey, shit, I don't give a fuck what the hell you think. I'm just saying what the hell I'm saying on my channel, so you can get the fuck on if you feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what the hell, you know what the truth is. You know what I'm saying? You know that shit because it's a spontaneous understanding, like a clicking of understanding that happens, you know what I'm saying, when you hear that shit, when that shit is processed. But anyway, you know what I mean, we gonna get into really breaking down gender next time, you know what I'm saying, via like understanding of the Tao, and concepts like Wu Ji, which manifests Taiji, which is, you know what I'm saying, the manifestation of 10,000 things in Taoism, you know what I'm saying? And then that, you know what I'm saying, gives birth to yin and yang, which is, you know what I'm saying, this dualistic principle that we see reoccurring on every level of existence in the universe, the physical universe, and the many universes, you know what I'm saying? So like we have to get into those sciences. So it's like, cause that's one of the primary reasons why they don't want people to understand gender. So you can't understand that universal principle, and therefore you can't understand yourself. Therefore you can't understand your life. Therefore you can't take, you know, I wouldn't say take control. You're like, there's no control, but you can't transmute aspects of your life for your own benefit. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, that's just it. Like, that's it for this video. You know, like and subscribe, share this video with whoever you feel would like understand and understand this. You know what I mean? Because it's very critical that people, you know, get the right sort of fucking like knowledge and insight out here, man. For real. And yes, we can talk about the Caduceus staff and the Kundalini snakes rising out of the motherfucking Baphomet and all that shit. But you know what that shit symbolizes. That's the Kundalini energy. But it's deeper levels to that. Like outside of what you hear in the, you know what I'm saying, the new age fucking spiritual community where they just rambling on about that shit. There's a lot more levels to that shit. Especially on a practical level, you know what I'm saying? Just like your sperm, fellas. Your sperm is cerebral fluid, you know what I mean? That's what that shit is. So every time, you know what I'm saying, you ejaculate and release that shit, you're, you know what I'm saying, you're weakening your masculine energy in a sense. That's why it's very important to just, like, if you're gonna do that shit, do it with a woman where, you know what I'm saying, you can practice, you know what I'm saying, just energy exchange, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you giving something of yourself, you should at least receive something back, instead of just dropping that shit in a napkin or whatever. But I mean, hey, everybody, you know what I'm saying, everything for everybody. I mean, if you feel like you can't if you can't stop masturbating, you can't stop being off or whatever, I mean, shit, I still do it from time to time, because I mean, hey, everybody's body is different. Like some of us, man, might end up having wet dreams out this motherfucker, you know what I mean? So you gotta, you know what I'm saying, hey ladies, you know what I'm saying, like if y'all like to, if y'all got toys and shit, I mean, I personally highly recommend, I mean, I can't tell you what to do with your body, but I'd say for my own purpose, like I highly recommend a woman that don't use such devices on herself, because you're already sexually perverse. You're having sex, or you're using something that is not of a human being to pleasure yourself sexually. You see what I'm saying? It's like what would you think of a nigga that has a goddamn a sex toy, like a blow up sex doll or some shit? Like that's shit weird, right? So won't you think the same way, like if a nigga that you fucking with, or some dude that you met that you really like, find out that you shoving dildos up your ass, you know what I'm saying? Like if he has fucking high ass standards and integrity like me, like I'm out. Like fuck that shit. I ain't never talking to your ass again. Like you fucking out of here. Like you like shit, what the fuck am I gonna do for you? You already numbing yourself with this damn device. You see what I'm saying? You gotta think like that, ladies. You gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta preserve yourself for the right guy. You gotta be a real queen. You gotta be a real motherfucking queen and get the strongest, most dominant nigga that you can find. When I say dominant, I'm not talking about somebody that's abusive and trying to control you. I'm talking about dominant just in his energy, his presence. Like when he stepped to you, you feel like your you know what I'm saying? Like you know when you, like, I mean, I can't really say you know when you, like, cause it ain't too many guys out here they even got that sort of energy, you know what I'm saying? But just, you know what I mean? But that shit exists, you know what I'm saying? It exists. Just like everything else in the universe. So manifest that shit, goddamn it. Work on what you want to really manifest in your life, and when you manifest it, you be happy. No more going through this series of repeating the same pattern of, oh, I meet a new person, but they new face, new person, but same personality, same bullshit they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we higher frequency beings over here at School of Insight, baby. We out here manifesting what the hell we want in life on every level. Fuck all that. Oh, in order to be wise and enlightened, you must be poor. Remember, Buddha was a motherfucking prince. That nigga was rich as fuck. So fucking don't get that twisted. He just left that shit because, you know, he understood that, hey, all these materialistic shit don't matter. But at the end of the day, the motherfucker had wealth. He could have easily just went back to it. Like, all right, fuck all this teaching alignment shit. I'm going back to all my riches and shit. So, you know what I mean? Like, let's get that shit out of our heads right now. Like, You don't have to be poor to be righteous. You could be rich and righteous, man. Let's get this motherfucking bread. Again, don't worship that shit. That shit is just a tool for you to, you know what I'm saying, operate in this world that we live in, this artificial matrix that we live in. You know what I mean? Another piece of advice too before I leave you on that note. Money don't have no real value. You know what I'm saying? You should know that by now. You know what I mean? You are the one that have value. Just like you go to your job. You go into the job, you know what I'm saying? You pay yourself when you go to the job. They not if you don't go to work, you're not gonna get paid. So you are the valuable one. You are the one that's bringing the value. Therefore, the money comes because you are the one that is of value. So the same thing with your own business. If you're not running your business, if you're not doing anything to get business in your business, you're not gonna make no fucking money. You see? So you have to understand that principle in itself. You are the one that holds the value. Therefore, the money shall come because you are valuable. Now, with that being said, peace and guidance. I'm out. Again, like and subscribe. Share this video.